wanted to talk a little bit about the type of hair extensions that I have, because 3 months ago I decided to get hair extensions, and I basically scoured YouTube for like all the different YouTube videos that I could watch on them, and I couldn't really find anything, and so I was hoping to make this video just to make it easier for someone like me that wanted to know a little bit more. The type of extensions that I got, it's kind of like a hybrid method. They're called the Grace hand-tied extensions, and they're basically a spin-off of the NBR and SKW hair extensions. And so I basically have two rows of hair, and it varies person to person. Some people get 1 row, and people can get up to like 3.5 or 4, which I think is crazy, but some people need that much hair. NBR I know can be kind of painful, and I like don't have any pain or discomfort with mine, and I have really thin, fine hair, so it's honestly surprising to me. But yeah, no, I don't have any discomfort or anything. 6 months ago, I wanted to get hair extensions. I found someone that did them, and I had to message her, and I sent her a bunch of hair photos, and she asked me a bunch of questions. So it's like a virtual consultation, which is really helpful because then I didn't have to drive. I went in at the end of June, so now I've had them for about 3 months, and so I have a pretty good idea of like how they work. I chose 20-inch hair extensions. I had to tell her beforehand so she could order the hair, and they are in a very, 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 very dark brown color, but not black by any means, and it's mixed a couple different shades just so that it looks a little bit more natural. So I have 2 rows, one sits here and one sits a little bit lower. Wouldn't say that it sits fairly low, and because I do have a side part, they are like moved over a little bit. If you had a center part, they would probably sit more like this. So basically the installation process, I went in and I just brought like a fully charged phone and snacks because it takes forever, and I sat down, and basically she started coloring my hair, and then while my hair was processing, she was coloring and coloring and washing and drying the hair extensions. And then by the time I was done, the extensions were done, and she blew out my hair and then got me ready for installing the hair. And so basically she like marked out where on my head it should be installed, and then takes these little beads and little strands of your hair and puts them up at the very top, squishes it down, and then moves all the way around your crown, I guess, the crown of your head. And so I don't know how many beads I have. Honestly, I would guesstimate like 10 or 15. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe 10 to 15 per row, depending on where the row is positioned on my head. And after she maps that all out, then she starts to clip the hair on and try and place it to see where she wants to sew it down, and just uses the little alligator clips to place it on there. And then once that's all done and it's placed how she wants it and the color's laid down how she wants it, then she took the literally like needle and thread and sewed all the way along. But each time she would pull it, it felt tight, and I remember being like, oh, how am I gonna be able to like you know, that's gonna hurt for a long time. Like, how am I gonna be able to stand that? And then like within seconds, like it went away. Like it really wasn't that big of a deal. I just think I wasn't used to that because I like never did anything with my hair beforehand. And so yeah, I mean, it took probably 4 hours, I would say, start to finish. And it is expensive. That is another thing that I need to say. It is very expensive. It's definitely more expensive than any other hair extension types, but the problem is I couldn't find any hair extension types that were okay for really thin, fine, like baby fine hair like mine. And so I didn't really mind paying significantly more just to make sure that there would be absolutely no damage at all. And just like a little preface to all of this, there has been absolutely no damage to my hair. Even during like the move up appointments when I have to go in for maintenance appointments, I haven't noticed any damage at all. So that's been great. And very unexpected for me because I've had hair extensions literally give me like tension bald spots in areas. And so I was really afraid going into this, but I thought like, whatever, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And I'm not gonna continue to do the move up appointments. So it takes a couple hours. The move up appointments take a couple hours as well. So it depends, the length of time in between the initial process and the move up appointment depends on how fast or slow your hair grows. My hair grows extremely slow, so I can go in at like 10 weeks and it looks like someone who's only waited 8 or 7 weeks. I went in for a 9-week appointment move up, and I asked her like, oh, how much grow out do I have? And she looked at it and she was like, oh, well, what is this, like 6 weeks? And I was like, no, it's 9. And so she was just like, oh my God, your hair grows so slow compared to other people. But she was like, that's great for you because then you don't have to come in as often. So I'm stretching my next move up appointment. This next one is actually 8 because she's about to have a baby, and so her maternity leave is about to start, and so I just caught her right before she is going on leave. So it is 8 weeks, but then the following appointment is 10 weeks, and it's with a sub that she's trained. So anyways, the move up appointment will really depend on your hair growth rate, and it is expensive as well. So my hair extensions, I think the initial fee, and you're really paying for the hair your first appointment, so keep that into account. I chose 20-inch and I believe it was around $1,400, something like that, $1,500. And then for the move-up appointment, it was $350 for me. And it also depends on how many rows you have. And move up, they literally snip them all out, cut the little strings, and they just like pull the hair out and then like brush through everything. Your hair naturally sheds like, you know, I don't know how many hairs it is a day, but it's a lot. And so, it's all being held in there throughout the entire 8 weeks. So all of the hair that you've shed needs to be like brushed out. So don't mistake that for like losing your hair or anything. It's just natural shedding that's just been kept in the row. And so they need to brush that all out and then redo the whole thing all over again. And so she just colored my hair and yeah, again, wash the extensions. So the move up time is long. It's not like it's 1/3 of the time of like a full appointment. It's like almost basically just as long. So washing and drying them, how I wash them anyways, is first of all, you need a lot of shampoo and you need a lot of conditioner. So I basically start at the top. So I'll like do my like crown area up until like where my extensions are. And then I like take my hands and I like part the hair. And I want to get like in between the tracks because I probably have this much space, and I take like shampoo and I literally just, I go this way. You don't want to like get in there like this. You just want to go wash your hair in between the tracks and just kind of like take care of that piece of real estate as well. Get it on the underside, on the on top of it, and then I do the base of my neck up until the first track. Then I add a little bit of water and get it a little bit more runny and guide it through the rest of my hair just so it can seep into, you know, like the tracks and everything. And then after I do that and I have like the top part of my head like to here taken care of, then I just bring my hair around like this. I pump more shampoo and I take it all the way down. And then I will rinse my shampoo and then I'll repeat the same like application steps for my conditioner. The thing about my conditioner though is I do let it sit for as long as possible. So I take care of that at the very beginning of my shower, and then I carry out everything else that I want to do. So I'll shave my legs, I'll wash my face, I'll wash my body, I'll exfoliate, etc. Just so I can have it sit on my hair extensions for as long as possible, because really the better you take care of your hair, the longer you'll be able to keep that hair. So letting the conditioner sit and letting it get really moisturized so there's not, you know, more dead ends and dryness, and you don't have to keep getting trims and then have the hair removed and all this other stuff. Just remember, the better you take care of your hair, the longer the hair will last, so you won't have to replace it any sooner. Because I think you can have to replace it as soon as 6 months if you don't take very good care of it. But if you're really mindful of it, you can keep it for like at least 8 or at least a year, I would say. And honestly, probably longer depending. That includes also when you get out of the shower and how you dry it. Once I'm all done with that, I get out of the shower, and the one thing that has really helped me are like 2 steps. First, I literally sit there and I wait for like the weight of the water to like go down and get to my ponytail area, and I literally just sit there and gently I'll grab it, make sure I'm secure so I'm not like tugging every which way, and I just gently wring out water. And then you wait like another, you know, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and more water comes down into your ponytail. I don't know if this makes sense. And then you wring it out. So I try and get out as much water as I can, just manually wringing it out like that. So my towel doesn't have to do as much of the work, and then I don't have to dry it as much and take as long time to dry it. Probably the #1 thing that has helped me is buying a microfiber hair towel. So don't be fooled by Sephora, and don't go on there and buy the one that's honestly, it's like 30 or 40 bucks. I can't remember the name. They're cute. They're like little hair turbans, meant for drying your hair quicker, but don't be fooled by it. I went on Amazon, and I can even link what I got. I think it was like 10 bucks. And I bought this white microfiber hair towel, and I got the long hair version. So, I mean, and really this much of my hair sticks out the end, but it is like from here to here. I flip all the way upside down, where in the beginning it may be a little tight, so be careful because your hair isn't grown out as much, so the rows are really close to your scalp, so it can be kind of weird to do this. And if you have to, literally just pull your hair over like this and add the towel and spin it and tuck it under or whatever. But basically, when I do that, I'll have it on and then I will tuck this part under here. I know I look ridiculous. This isn't how I do it, but that's how I would do it. I would stick like the tail of it underneath. I put that microfiber hair towel in, and it soaks up water way more efficiently than just a regular towel would. It literally draws the water out of your hair. I basically wait as long as humanly possible with my hair in this, mostly because after all that washing, I don't want to have to dry my hair right away. So once I'm done, let's say like 30 minutes has passed and I've been laying in bed and I've decided it is time to brush my hair. What will be your best friend? A wet brush? Don't slack on this. Get a wet brush. It will protect your hair. It will feel way better when you are brushing it. And the thing about wet brushes, if you aren't familiar with them, their bristles are way more flexible. So let's say you're brushing through your hair and you have like a knot right here. The wet brush has enough flexibility to just pass over it and try and slowly but surely take it out. These are really flexible and gentle on your hair, and they don't tug too much, so it's really necessary to get one of these, and then also a detangler. So I'm not really a detangler connoisseur. I just looked at one on Sephora that had good reviews, and that was the Prep Rally Prep and Prime detangler from Drybar. And I spray the shit out of my hair with this stuff. I go like roots to tip. I spray the holy hell out of my hair with this. And then what I found works best for me is splitting my hair into sections. So I just have like a TV show on. It really doesn't take this long, but I'll just take like 1/4 of my hair. And then I just sit there, and you wanna hold so that you're not like putting tension on the tracks. You're literally putting it, just hold tight here. How I do it normally is like this, and I'll hold and I brush, and then I go up and I brush, up and I brush, and then when I get way up here, I'm just trying to be super gentle. You're not gonna wanna like put a bunch of pressure and get in the track and kind of tug on it, because that can really mess up the very top. I don't use any other brushes. I know there are people that use combs, but combs are very iffy with this type of extension, any extension, because if you're using the comb and it's pointed down like this, I don't even know how to describe what I'm doing. If this is a comb and you're combing your hair and you're going like this, there's more chance that the teeth will like get under the row and pull on it. So when you're using it, you have to like put the teeth up, like facing up. So if these were the teeth facing down, you'd want it up and to like graze over the top, so there's no chance that it would get caught in. I just personally find that that's like too much work and too much to be worried about when I'm trying to brush my hair, and so I just play it safe, and I only use the wet brush. I keep one in my purse, I keep one in my backpack, I keep them everywhere. I keep them at my parents' house, I keep them in my dorm. I cannot live without it. So yeah, I will do this and then brush it out, and then I just kind of let my hair chill for a little bit. You can do all of these steps one after the other. It's just I'm lazy, so keep that in mind. And then I go in with drying my hair, and I like to use the Mistress Hair Balm by IGK. I think it really hydrates my hair. I think it makes it feel way softer and less tangled and more smooth and silky when I do dry it. I will let my hair air dry as much as like I can, like during the day, but there's just too much hair density way up by the top of the track where the bottom row isn't gonna be fully dry, it's gonna be kind of damp. So regardless of if you let your hair dry, you know, all day long, you really wanna get in there at the end of the day with a hair dryer and just kind of blow on it a little bit, try and get it to release some of that moisture and dry it out a little bit. So the hair dryer that I use the T3 one, and they literally sell these at Costco, and they're normally a couple $100, and at Costco you can get them for like 70, I believe. And then I think I got the straightener for like 40, and these, you want to keep this piece on, and you want to blow dry downwards like this. Okay, I used to be that fool out here using my hairdryer like this because I never understood what these were for. Directs the air in a more controlled fashion so that you have less frizz. I just find that it dries your hair way more shiny. And honestly, with like my hair without hair extensions, this wouldn't make a difference. My hair is just raggedy regardless, so it really doesn't matter. So what I do is I will take my Kitsch scrunchies, which I will get into. I tie that puppy up, and then I just put this on, blow it downwards, and just blow it like this. And I take my hands and I'm just like combing through very softly and gently. Ah, yes, hair oil. Once you're done drying your hair, take hair oil. Please do not be afraid of hair oil, especially if you have like oily hair. It's necessary for your hair extensions. Hair extensions don't, hair oil won't deposit onto your hair extensions like your natural hair oils. It's not growing out of your scalp. So if you do have oily hair, like, do not be afraid to put it on your hair extensions. Your hair extensions need it because they don't have any natural source. The only oil and nourishment they're gonna get is from whatever products you put onto them. I have the IGK Speechless Dry Oil Spray, and I just kind of, you know, spray that through, brush it through, and it adds shine and softness and silkiness to my hair, and it doesn't weigh it down. So if you are afraid of adding oil, you can use this throughout your entire like head of hair, but make sure you actually use an actual oil. Rub it through your hands and get it on the ends of your hair because they will need it. They're gonna get raggedy if you don't. On to the best curling iron ever, and it's gonna save you if you have long hair or hair extensions. It is the bio-ionic long barrel. I got this off Overstock, which I feel like was a gamble because it's like ordering electronics off Amazon. Like, you don't know if that's gonna just blow up, you know, but it's a bio-ionic 1-inch long barrel styler, and it was $74.99. And I basically just take pieces of hair and I do it in vertical sections. I just take pieces of hair. Honestly, this is a very small piece. I'm very lazy and I will take huge hunks of hair, but that's just my journey. And I just take it and I go mid-length probably, and I come, okay, this was way more than I intended. Yeah, just enough to kind of cover the barrel. The barrel is like super long, so it's kind of awkward to hold at first, but you get really used to it. And then I wait and I kind of come, and then I basically I'll just like tap down the ends because I don't want the ends to be overly fried, but I also don't like the way straight ends on curled hair looks. So that's how I will do that. And I generally keep it at 360. I only curl my hair like once a week and it lasts, honestly. Last couple things are how to like sleep with the hair extensions and maintain everything. So I like to sleep in a rope braid. So I literally just have my hair back. I part it right down the center and then I do a rope braid. Those two pieces, I just bring it around here and I just wind towards where you are, so towards the camera, and then you twist the hair in the opposite direction that you spun it. So you spin it in a different direction, and I generally leave like that much hair, and I take a scrunchie, a silk one so that it doesn't damage the hair, and that is how I sleep in my hair. And I sleep on a silk pillowcase, so there's less frizz, there's less breakage, it's better for your hair. And then I use these silk Kitsch scrunchies, and they come in like a pack of 6, I think, on Amazon. They sell them at Ulta, I realize, so check that out. If you're going to the gym, if you like going to the gym like me, you're gonna want something that's a little bit more powerful and that's gonna actually hold your hair and not slip out if you're doing a bunch of exercises. Get Invisibobbles. So they're like the little windy spirally ones. I thought they were bullshit for the longest time, but then I started using them at the gym and I realized they're not. They stay in place, they don't tug too much, but get the power version. They have the slim, the original, and the power, and you're gonna want the power ones. The other ones are great if you're just like doodly doing around, but if you actually need your hair to be held, I recommend the power one. I think that's all that I needed to cover. I hope it was informational, and I hope if you are someone out there that is looking at getting hair extensions, specifically the type that I have, if any of this information helped you. I'm looking at my notes to see if I forgot anything. And if you have any questions, please list them below in the comments and I will answer them. Let me know if you have any more questions, and thanks for watching.